Now it's time to create your first scoreboard, either as a team together or as individuals. You'll notice in the huddle itself, the option there for your team and individual scoreboards to be created. Simply click on the Manage button. This takes us to what we call our workbench, where we can start brainstorming out the ideas. Now the options are to do this as team scoreboards, or you can do individuals. Let's start as the team example. Now for myself and Marielle, we've got a particular project that we're working on, which is about getting every single team member into property ownership in our organisation in the future. Pretty fun one to be working on. Now we're going to do a brainstorm that will only take no more than 7 minutes. Now up the top here, we've got a timer for ourselves and we can adjust that. We can extend it along the way if we like. I'm going to refresh that one to get it back to 7 minutes. And we'll do that, but before we get started, there's a few great rules when it comes to brainstorming. I'm going to pause that timer. These rules are available over here on our help section under 9 rules of brainstorming. So here they are. Let's have a look at these together as a team. First of all, pick a facilitator. Someone is going to control the computer today, and whether you're in the room together or you're remote, let's have one person who will be our transcriber. Next, if you can, stand up. It adds a lot of energy. Following that, put the problem out there to solve on the screen itself, okay? If you're in the room together, be mindful to put this up on a big screen rather than sharing the problems and the ideas across the table. Sometimes people take things personally. So focus on the screen, let's get everyone on the same side of the table together. Next, 7 to 11 minutes really is all you need to do your brainstorm. Keep it nice and fast, have some fun with it. Say things like 2 minutes to go or halfway or you're doing well. Have lots of encouragement along the way. Note that no idea is a bad idea. Throw all the ideas in. We can do the judgment part afterwards with some screening questions. No judgment here when it's time for the brainstorm. Then statements, not questions. If we ever say something like, hey, what do you think about this? That actually slows the whole thing down because it evokes a conversation between people. So simply state your idea, knowing safely that it will be taken care of and just transcribed and put onto the screen. No side conversations. Be really mindful not to get caught in live chat or little side conversations that distract from the brainstorming. Then also ask what else, what else, what else. If you're the facilitator, be sure to ask what else after each idea has come through. It really encourages all the ideas to come out. And then leaders go last. You already have all these ideas in your head, so leave it to your team to get as many of their ideas out first. You can seed a couple along the way, but be mindful not to dominate. All right, let's give it a go. Simply click on the brainstorm button and we can start putting our ideas in. In this zone here, so for example, all team and property ownership, I simply press enter and we're down to the next candidate idea. All team and property ownership, I'd say what else? For the next one, meet with bank managers, what else? Meet with developers, what else? And I'd keep saying what else, what else, what else, and to get all the ideas out. I'm gonna pause that brainstorming now. In fact, we can end it. We'll stop that one and say, hey, great job, everybody, round of applause. The next thing to do is to have a look at all the great ideas. Usually you get sort of 12 to 14 ideas come out in that 7-minute mark. From here, we then go into the screening questions. These are available in the help section here. Let's have a look at them together. The key results screening questions. There are 3 of them. The first one is it a behavior, output, or task? The key result is the outcome that we're going for, whereas behaviors are output, so things that we do on a daily basis. But it might also be something that's just a task, like a one and done, and that isn't worthy of being a key result. So if it turns out to be a behavior, output, or task, simply put a strike through it so that you know not to deal with this one. It also keeps it on the page there, just like if you had it up on a whiteboard or some large block paper on the wall to do this activity, so that you can refer back to it and make some adjustments in case something was not fully understood. Next from here, you ask the question, can your team actually mobilize or impact against this one? If no, then strike it out as well. And then finally, can it be measured with frequent updates? In order to keep people energized and enthused against driving goals forward, we need to see progression. So make sure it's something that you can get data on a regular basis. All right, let's have a look at assessing these. All team and property ownership. So is it a behavior or an outcome or a task? No, this one's definitely a lot bigger than that. Can our team own it? Well, that's what we've been put together for. And can we get some measure in it? Every time we get someone into the program, we can as well. So that one's going to stay there. Meet with the bank managers. This could be argued as a one and done activity, or maybe it's just part of a project later on. So we're going to strike that one out. We don't need to have any other questions on that one. And then that one would meet with developers later on. That could actually be an ongoing item, but it fits more into a behavior, something that we'll do regularly that will have an impact. So I'm going to strike it out as well, keeping it nice and simple for us here. Okay, at this point in time, we've got ourselves an objective. We now need to turn that into a key result. I can either press enter or I can click on the key result icon here, and we're going to go for a measurement now. Now we've got a pretty big objective here, and we're not going to solve it within a 12-month period. So we're going to start by setting some numbers, a start line, a finish line, and a deadline around this key result so that we can make some significant progress in 2023. In fact, we're going to go from increase So we're going to increase our team in the Grow program from 4 to 200 by the 31st of December 2023. That's what we call our property investment program. Now, when I press enter, it now opens up the space for the X factors to be put in. We'll come to that in the next video, but right now, let's convert this key result to a scoreboard by clicking on Convert to Scoreboard. And what you'll notice is there's a wizard here that we go through to set up the scoreboard. It starts out with the objective, all team and property ownership. Great. In fact, let's make that more exciting. Let's turn that into let's grow together, right? So we have a bit of fun with the wording. And at GoTeam, it's better together, so it's all nicely aligned with our theme. Next one, the key results statement. Now you'll notice that I've written that in quite a bit of detail. That comes from practice over the years. However, the system itself is going to build that out for us. So let's have a look at it. We've got a verb. Verb is about getting action-orientated activity happening. So things like it's going to be growing. It could be grow, increase, deliver, produce, exceed, these types of words. We're going to put increase for this one. And then what we're going to measure, it's team in the Grow program. And quantity, it's either a single target or a range target. Because we're starting at 4, we'll need to use the range from 4 to 200. And we're going to set that to the end of next year. So for us, it's in 2023. Well, let's have over 200 people in the Grow program by the end of next year. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Over 200 team members in property ownership by the end of next year. It started in their journey. Now we can also add a stretch target in here, and stretch targets are something where you go beyond that goal. It needs to start on each end. If it's the beginning, it needs to be higher, and at the end higher. So let's put that to 300 as our stretch. And you'll notice at the bottom here, the system is actually creating the wording for us. Increase team in Grow property program from 4 to 200 by December 31st, 2023. We convert that to the scoreboard and we see it here. Let's grow together. That's the objective. Then the key result, starting at 4, the explanation, and then the finish line. And we see the progress today. So let's imagine that that was like 50 as an example. You'll see the scoreboard move forward. Now down here is the target for today, and that's sitting at 4. So we're well in front. You can see why it's green. And the purple there is showing what the stretch target would be. You can have a look at some more detail here by clicking on the scoreboard itself. We'll see the summary as well as some waypoints. So you can set your trajectory. So waypoints are points along the way. Let's just add in one waypoint and make that for, let's do that for January 2023, and we'll set it at 10 people and also 10 people and the stretch for 15. And you can see how the graphs automatically update for you there. And we'll notice that the blue is the waypoints, and then we get a color coding for where we're at. You notice we've shot it straight up to 50. That's a great start in these numbers, and it's nice and green. In fact, it meets or exceeds the target. At super green, it can be normal green if it meets the target. If it's 0 to 20 below that blue waypoint line, it'll be yellow. And then it's more than 20% below, it'll be red. All right, we'll close out of that one now. And the next step after this is to go forward and brainstorm our X factors. Let's do that in the next video.